You know me better than anyone else in this world, and yet somehow you agreed to this. There's still a bit of me right now that can't believe that I'm the one that gets to marry you. You inspire me to be a little better every day. You make me want to be the best version of myself. For you, Margaret. I, Tony, take you, Margaret, as my wife, and I promise to be always faithful in joy and in pain, in health and in illness, and to love you and to honor you every day of my life.
I, Margaret, take you, Tony, as my husband, and I promise to be always faithful in joy and in pain, in health and in illness, and to love you and to honor you every day of my life.
Good evening, esteemed in-laws, dear friends, honorable guests. It's an honor for Shuang and I, Margaret's mom, dad, to welcome you all to Chateau Challain on this very special day in Tony and Margaret's life. Firstly, I would like to express our profound gratitude for making to every one of you, for making such a long journey to celebrate with us today. Your presence, blessing, and friendship and love means the world to us. We appreciate it very much.
Good evening, everyone. So nice to see everybody here. And I want to extend my warmest welcome and sincerest thanks to everyone who has traveled so long distance to be here to celebrate a special occasion of Margaret and Tony's weddings. Once again, thank you everybody for coming, and I hope everyone has a wonderful time here.
We've literally, all of us collectively traveled over 250,000 miles to be here in this castle to witness this wedding. So I'd like to thank everyone to being here, and also for the fact that we're in a city out of all cities in the possible world called Angers, or in English, Angers, France. What I love about you two is that you guys are secretly bougie. You're super fancy, you do super fancy and unique things without really flashing it. I remember when you were casually telling me that you're gonna be married in France. We were walking in SF and I think the gardens, and you just turned around and casually said like, oh yeah, we're like planning on having a wedding in France. And I think that's kind of ridiculous.
Happiness in marriage is not something that just happens. A good marriage must be created. In the art of marriage, the little things are the big things. It's never being too old to hold hands. It's remembering to say, I love you, out loud, at least once a day. And it's a common search for the good and the beautiful in each other. It's doing things for each other, not in the attitude of duty or sacrifice, but in a spirit of joy. It's never going to sleep angry. It's not expecting the husband to wear a halo or the wife to have the wings of an angel. And it's not looking for perfection in each other. It's cultivating flexibility, patience, understanding, and a sense of humor. It's speaking words of appreciation and demonstrating gratitude in thoughtful ways. And it's giving each other an atmosphere in which each of you can grow. It's not only marrying the right partner, it's being the right partner.
You look stunningly beautiful today, Margaret. Just like the day when I held you in my arms for the first time many years ago. As your mom, I cannot be prouder of the incredible person you have become. Since the moment you were born, you brought immense joy and love into our lives. You are always a compassionate and caring person. Evident from the time you arrived a month early to this world, just to make sure I have an easy labor. Yes, I did. Thank you, honey. At the age of 5, when your dad lost his driver license and mine at the movie airport and was panicking about how to return home, you put your little arms around his back and reassure him everything would be okay. It's that moment when we realized what a blessing it was to have such a loving and caring angel in our lives.
About 13 years ago, Tony moved from Vestavia Hills, Alabama to Gainesville, Florida. And before anybody in Gainesville actually had a chance to meet him, we had all already formed impressions of him because all of the Chinese parents in the southeastern United States had found each other on WeChat, and they had started exchanging gossip about Tony. So what I knew about Tony from my parents' Intel network was that he was apparently like some sort of math god.
When I first met Tony, he was very shy and quiet. And when I first met Marge, she was very loud and angry. They've grown so much since then. Tony is now shy and quiet, and Marge is now loud and angry. So we've come a long way.
As Asian and Chinese parents, we don't express our feelings very often. But tell you the truth, Margaret, both your dad and I are extremely proud of you. Your unwavering commitment to doing your best, right from your kindergarten days to college and right for now at work, is a testament your hard work and dedication to everything you are doing. We never need to worry about your studies. Actually, it's almost embarrassing to admit we even don't know what classes you took in school. Another thing, another reason you make me and your dad over the moon is because you found your true love in Tony. Yeah, and we love you too, Tony.
I was a little intimidated by Tony the genius before I had even met him. But then I met him and I saw his jawline. And I was like, oh no, a hot genius. We had a lot of milestones together. The first time that Tony or I ever got drunk was at a rager that he hosted at his house on prom night. 对不起，叔叔。对不起，阿姨。You were out of town. It was 10 years ago. I figured it's time to come clean about it. So. As a result of the physical distance between us, I've only had the pleasure of meeting Margaret a handful of times. But I know Tony, and I could see how he felt about Marge the first time I saw them together. For a little context, back in high school, Tony would sometimes describe himself as an awkward turtle. But around Marge, I saw Tony flourish. I knew their communication skills were on point because I watched them play Overcooked with each other. And they were incredible. With Marge, I saw Tony become a comfortable and confident turtle.
So we gathered here today to witness the marriage of Tony and Margaret, to share their joy and to celebrate their love. And as Tony and Margaret come before you here today as two, they will leave this place as one, united in marriage. We know that you're all happy to be here to witness and celebrate their union and to support them in sustaining it from this day on. And we celebrate this unique time in their lives, make it meaningful by entering into it in an attitude of respect for their deep commitment to each other.
I am a dad, and needless to say, I'm very proud of my son Tony. He is an amazing young man, working hard, self-disciplined, and kind. He is always willing to help others in need. My wife and I feel so lucky to have the rare opportunity to see him grow up from a cute little boy to a wonderful young man. Margaret, you are an amazing young lady and a daughter every parent's dream to have. Tony is so lucky to find you and fall in love with you. And we as a family, we are so happy to have you as part of the family. 田大哥、世荣姐，你有一个非常非常优秀的女儿，非常感谢，很荣幸今周我们跟你们结成亲家。
Special thanks to our in-laws, Mei Qing and Hua Dong, for raising such a handsome and exceptional young man and accepting Margaret as their own. Tony, I'm so happy to tell you, to welcome you into our family and look forward to watching your love for each other continue to grow in the years ahead. As you embark a new journey, I thought about giving you some advice, but in the end, I decided not to. With your exceptional talents and ability, unconditional love and commitment to each other, I trust you will make the best decision. And together, we'll have an amazing life that I can ever imagine.
Before this moment, you've been many things to one another: acquaintance, friend, travel companion, lover, dancing partner, and even teacher. For you've learnt much from one another, I'm sure, since you both met. And now you shall say the symbolic vows that take you across the threshold of life, and things will never quite be the same between you. For after these vows, you shall say to the world, "This is my husband," and you shall say to the world, "This is my wife." So look at one another now and remember this moment in time.
I promise that from this day forward, that you'll never face this world alone. We'll continue to face whatever challenges or adventures life has for us together. We'll hold hands throughout, and I promise to never let go. I promise to always appreciate you and to never let a day go by where I'm not reminded of how lucky I am that I have you and that we have each other. You make me feel so loved, Margaret. Something that you and I would always say to each other is that life should always get better. My life is so much brighter with you in it, and life is definitely getting better tonight. Margaret, you're my best friend. I love you, and I can't wait to make all of our dreams come true together.
Tony, I love you so much. You're the most genuinely kind, intelligent, and determined person that I know. I feel so fortunate to have lived and grown with you for the past 8 years. It's been so long that sometimes we joke that we forget we're even separate people. And then sometimes I'm reminded how incredibly different we are. I think right now you're like 20 shades darker than me. And you run probably 10 times faster than me. You've challenged me to grow in countless ways while still making me feel so safe and so loved. For anyone that's known me for a long time, it's almost completely unthinkable that you convinced me that exercising daily is fun and that quitting our jobs to travel 2 months ago is rational. But life is so much brighter with you, and I feel so grateful to have found you. I promise to give you my best through all of life's ups and downs. I promise to be your biggest supporter and to respect our differences. Tony, I love you unconditionally and always will.
Our families in China cannot be here with us today, but their best wishes and blessing are warmly received and deeply appreciated. Over the past year and a half, we had the pleasure of meeting your parents. I must say, they are some of the nicest people I have ever had the pleasure of meeting with. Not only we share very similar experience and values, their warmth and kindness made us feel we were longtime friends. Seeing you grown up from such a wonderful and loving family brought us a great comfort and only solidified our confidence in you. All these qualities made us confident that you will be a wonderful husband to our daughter.
From someone who is a close outsider, you both balance each other very well. Tony, you worked for Lyft. Marge, you worked for Uber. Tony, you are very patient. Marge, you are very impatient. Tony, you're very understanding and tolerant. I'll let you fill out the rest of that one. I'm just joking though. I know I'm supposed to be representing Marge's side for this speech. So I have some nice words to say, don't worry. So Marge is very caring and loving towards her friends, as I'm sure you all know. So you have both introduced a lot of joy into my life, and if I felt what a small snippet of what your love for each other could be, then I know that you will be very happy together. I am so happy for you two, and these beautiful people that traveled such a long way to get here is a reflection of your love for each other. So with that, I'd like to propose a toast to Margaret and Tony, to our friends, daughters, sons, friends, and newlyweds. Cheers.
Tony, I still remember the day when Margaret told us she got a boyfriend and I might. As parents, we were both excited and anxious to hear more about this new person in her life. Two things we knew about you were that you were very kind, very polite, and you are incredibly intelligent. So it's safe to say we were impressed from the start. When we finally had a chance to meet you in person, we were instantly impressed by your kindness, your agreement, and charm. Over the past few years, we had the pleasure of watching your relationship with Margaret grew into something truly special. You've shown yourself to be a trustworthy loving and caring partner. You truly understand Margaret. You are a great communicator and planner. You are extremely patient, a quality that is so important in any relationship. And you also have a very active and healthy lifestyle, which had a great influence on Margaret. But remember, we're just a phone call away whenever you need us. Finally, I would like to raise a toast to the happy couple, Margaret and Tony. May your love continue to blossom and flourish with each passing day. May you always, always be each other's greatest source of love, support, and strength. Here's to the lifetime of happiness and love. Cheers.
Margaret, Tony, congratulations again and best wishes for your life together. Life is a long journey. Please remember to be kind to each other, to love each other, to be patient with each other, and to be supportive to each other.
是我又做错了什么？你哭着对我说，童话里都是骗人的，我不可能是你的王子。也许你不会懂，从你说爱我以后，我的天空星星都亮了，我愿变成童话里你爱的那个天使，张开双手变成翅膀守护你。你要相信，相信我们。
I'm grateful that we could all be here to celebrate Tony and Marge today. At this point, I've known Tony for half our lives now, and I know Marge is perfect for him because I see that they share the same brilliance, the same down-to-earth approachability, and the same values. I know the two of them are destined for a happy and very healthy life together. So please join me in raising a glass to the happy couple, to Tony and Marge. Cheers.
presence of families and friends and before everyone here today, Tony and Margaret have given their consent and made their marriage vows to each other. They have declared their marriage by the joining of hands and by the giving and receiving of rings. It now gives me great pleasure to declare that you are husband and wife together. Congratulations to you both. And finally, Tony, it's the bride, and you may cheer.